Hi, and welcome to the 700 Club. Dallas under a deluge of rain that's a once-in-a-millennial disaster. 15 inches of rain in 24 hours, leaving streets underwater and residents desperate for rescue.
Dangerous droughts and flooding are also plaguing other parts of the South and the Southwest, and the ominous rain is now heading for the east. Caitlin Burke reports.
It's being called a once-in-a-thousand-years event, a slow-moving storm system dropping record-breaking rain on areas that haven't seen substantial rainfall all summer.
Caught people off guard, but I think everybody wasn't anticipating this much rain this fast.
The deluge brought Dallas, Texas to a standstill Monday, forcing motorists to abandon their vehicles and get off the roads before being swept away by flash flooding. Sunday to Monday, the city experiencing its highest 24-hour rainfall totals in 90 years. Weather stations reporting more than a foot of rain across the Dallas area.
The current's so strong going past my house, it'll wash you away.
The rapidly increasing water levels left many in dangerous situations. The floodwaters sweeping up vehicles and dumping them blocks away, backing up traffic. Some neighborhoods with virtual rivers running through their streets. Rescue teams pulling families to safety. Other parts of the Southwest experienced the monsoon rains over the weekend. In New Mexico's Carlsbad Caverns National Park, about 150 people had to be evacuated after being stranded for hours due to impassable roads.
Never been this close to a flood before, me neither.
In Utah, rescue workers at Zion National Park are still looking for 29-year-old Jaytel Agni-Hotri of Tucson, who was hiking when floodwaters swept through the area.
I mean, it's frustrating. It's already day 3 for us, and we haven't found any clue except the backpack.
As residents work to dry out, clean up, and survey the damage, more rain is in the forecast. AccuWeather predicting another round of flooding downpours for those same south central states through Thursday. Caitlin Burke, CBN News.
Those pictures in the video is hard to fathom. Think of that, the highest 24-hour rainfall in 90 years. Of course, we want to pray for the people affected by this and the first responders, as they've also got family to care for themselves. Well, in other news, former President Donald Trump is escalating his fight over those confiscated documents. Ephraim Graham has that story and more from the CBN newsroom. Ephraim?
Andrew, the former president's legal team filed a motion for the FBI to stop going through the documents and requesting a special master to review and identify any that don't fall under the search warrant or are protected by executive or attorney-client privilege. This comes as media reports now claim Trump had more than 300 classified documents at Mar-a-Lago. 150 were returned to the National Archives in January. Another batch turned over to the Justice Department in May. The rest seized in the raid. The Department of Justice has until Monday to deliver a redacted version of the affidavit the warrant is based on. The judge does acknowledge the redactions could be so extensive that it renders the document useless. The midterm elections are still months away, but some are already looking ahead to the 2024 vote. Big names are stumping for congressional candidates while building national support towards a possible presidential run. White House correspondent Abigail Robertson reports.
Former Vice President Mike Pence raised eyebrows at the Iowa State Fair over the weekend, leading to further speculation he's planning a 2024 presidential run.
I'm in Iowa for one reason and one reason only, and that is that Iowa and America need 6 more years of Senator Chuck Grassley.
Pence claims his current focus is helping GOP candidates win back the House and Senate, and he'll assess future plans next year.
After the first of the year, my family and I will do as we've always done, and that is reflect and pray on where we might next serve, where we might next contribute. But today, it's all about winning back the Congress and re-electing Senator Chuck Grassley.
Pence also hinted he's open to testifying before the January 6th committee.
But if they present a formal invitation for the committee, I've said we'll give it due consideration, but we'll do so reflecting on the unique responsibilities that I have to defend the prerogatives of my office as Vice President.
Congresswoman Liz Cheney told ABC News' Jonathan Karl she hopes he does.
When the country has been through something as grave as this was, everyone who has information has an obligation to step forward. So I would hope that he will do that.
Fresh off a primary loss, Cheney's considering her own presidential bid and vows to stop former President Donald Trump from winning again.
I think we have to make sure that he is not our nominee. We have no chance at winning elections if we are in a position where our party has abandoned principle and abandoned value and abandoned fundamental fidelity to the Constitution in order to embrace a cult of personality.
Trump holds a substantial lead in 2024 GOP primary polls, with Florida Governor Ron DeSantis consistently a distant second place.
Aren't you glad to live in a free state?
And on the Democratic side,
I don't think he would win. I don't think a lot of people are happy with him.
Voters in Iowa, an early primary state, are casting doubt on a second term for President Biden.
I think there's probably some other candidates that we get some fresh blood in there.
Even though recent polls show most Democrats would prefer a new candidate to run in 2024, Biden reportedly plans to launch his re-election campaign after the midterms, opening the door for a possible rematch with former President Donald Trump. Reporting from Washington, Abigail Robertson, CBN News.
Abigail, thank you. I want to update you now on the car bomb that killed the daughter of an advisor to President Vladimir Putin. Russia claims a female Ukrainian spy used remote control to set off the explosive that killed 29-year-old Daria Dugina. It is widely believed her father was the intended target. Ukraine, backed by the U.S. State Department, calls the Russian claim a complete fake. U.S. intelligence warning of retaliatory attacks by Russia, banning public events on Ukraine's Independence Day this Wednesday. Turning now to Israel and a discovery with biblical significance. A unique stone from an unearthed synagogue where Jesus likely prayed is now back in its home in Galilee. CBN Middle East correspondent Julie Stahl shows us why the Magdala stone is so special.
1, 2, and 3.
Deemed by experts as one of Israel's most important discoveries, the Magdala stone spent years with the Israel Antiquities Authority, then went on an international tour with showings in New York and Rome.
I myself, with some other workers here, put in the truck that remove it from the site. So I said, bye, see you soon, to the stone at the beginning of January 2010. To see the stone coming back today is a big joy.
In 2009, archaeologists excavating here uncovered the original Magdala stone. This replica stands in the exact location where they found it.
The director of the Antiquities Authority at the time of the discovery, he came, he was looking around. He said, the Magdala stone has to come back here because this synagogue without the stone is like a beheaded body.
Known today as Migdal, Magdala was a city on the Sea of Galilee and known as the home of Mary Magdalene. In 2005, Father Juan Solana initiated the Magdala Project to highlight Jesus' ministry in the region and honor women of faith. They broke ground in 2009, and the center now includes an archaeological park, a chapel, and a hotel on the shores of the Sea of Galilee.
When I was about to buy the land at the very beginning, I thought it cannot belong to the Catholic Church, but all Christians, because Magdala, as a hometown of Mary Magdalene, is a treasure for all Christians. But when we discovered the synagogue and the entire town of Magdala from the first century, said it belongs not to all Christians, but also to the Jewish people.
Magdala stone is an unicum. It's a unique object. It is an unknown collection of what I think to be Jewish symbolism, which symbolizes the temple in Jerusalem.
Archaeologist Mordechai Aviam believes the stone held deep meaning for Jewish worshippers who couldn't make the weeks-long trek to Jerusalem and back.
They looked at the stone, they felt Jerusalem and the temple and God in their hearts, and that's the meaning of this stone.
My angle on Magdala are the people who come. So I'm always engaging the people who come, and really a cross-section of humanity comes here. And we say that the archaeology here is a crossroads of Jewish and Christian history, but that the spirit of Magdala is a crossroads for everybody.
Father Kelly says he believes the return of the original stone will draw people like a magnet.
Magdala is like an oasis of encounter. So here we have a great spirit of encounter, and I think this is going to give that further impulse because people will come and this will create conversation, dialogue, and quest for understanding. And that will be an opening to understanding the past and the present, and that's a pathway for the future.
Julie Stahl, CBN News, Magdala, Israel.
I feel that magnet pulling. Andrew?
Right, Ephraim, we want to thank Julie Stahl and Chris Mitchell and the great news team we have in Israel and the Holy Land who bring us those stories. By the way, on a different note, I want to thank all of you who have emailed us and called CBN, checking on Gordon, seeing how he's doing. Gordon is taking some well-deserved time off. Well-deserved. And the fall's a busy time here at CBN, so he's just recharging a bit, and he will be back in early September. So thanks to those of you who have checked on him. He's doing well.